One of the things that I'm starting to realize as I make my first larger game is that even though you've spent 10 years learning how to code, a bunch of years learning how to do 3D, a bunch more doing pixel art, there's one thing that a game needs to have, otherwise it's not really a game, and that is it needs content. It needs to have something for you to play. It can't just be a room with enemies that you shoot at. So we've made all these systems and we have them all in place, but we still need to put them together to create content for the player to actually move through and actually play the game. Otherwise, it's just a sandbox, and that's not what we're going for. In my game, I want to make sure that there's room for player expression, even if it is just a little bit, to be able to find and equip things that you can use to slightly alter the way that you play. We've got a basic attack, but on top of that, we're also going to have mods that can alter movement abilities, and in the last few weeks, we've been working on adding secondary abilities that the player can use, like a massive barrage of missiles or a huge laser. Now, I've got all the systems in place, but there's one big problem. We need to make the abilities, and we need to make the mods, and I also need to make levels, obviously, and draw everything instead of just using a few frames from my damage animation. So our next goal really is to build out the levels. We need to do some additional animations and maybe add one or two more abilities. We also need to make a path from the start of the game to the first boss, so we can really start to get a feel for how this game works as a Metroidvania, rather than just a room with a few enemies. Then I should be able to have something that I can put together for you to play and tell me if it even is any good as a Metroidvania. If you're on YouTube, don't forget to like and subscribe. We're streaming development on Monday, Wednesdays, and Saturdays, 6 AM Australian Eastern Standard Time. Hopefully, I will see you there. Hello, how we doing? How we doing? Music. We are back. It is a Monday. My computer says it's 8 PM because it's wrong. It does that every time I start it up, or when I switch from Linux to Windows. But it is early for me. Okay. Also, new camera, so things look a bit different. Still dialing in the settings. But yeah. What else have we got? We have got our guy. I've been playing around with the character, with the inventory, I should say. So I don't know if it's okay. It could be completely dodged out, and we're about to find out if it's going to run. Because I was doing some stuff with B-roll, literally just trying to get footage for like a video, and I broke everything. There's a lot, we got work to do. A lot of polish. It's crazy the amount of polish that's required to finish a game, eh? There's a version of this, his pixels are showing. Do you see that? We got pixels showing. I'll have to fix that. But today I want to be finishing off our map design, our draft map. What do we call it? It's essentially the map. We want to have like a path to the first boss, so I can actually start getting people to playtest this as a Metroidvania, rather than just, oh yeah, here's some enemies and a couple of bosses, mate. So because that's not what the game is, you know. So we want to get this at least in a shape like that, and then we can start like alpha testing. And that'll be a good way to get an idea whether or not this project is viable long term, because it's going to take time to finish this kind of stuff. So if we go to the, I guess the mini map, we also have a draft. We also have a draft like outline of what we intend for the map to look like. This is it here. It's very basic. So I've actually changed this now. In my way. Tangled up. Okay, so if we start here and then we go We got the layers and stuff. This is okay, but it's not really what we're going to do. So if this is the starting point, we've made all of this. Like, you come up, you go across here, and then there's a gauntlet here that you have to do. And then eventually you can drop back down to the starting area. Hello, Dune797, welcome to the chat. So we've got this bit here at the very least, but then we go left. And I don't know about this drop. Maybe we just go this direction. What layer am I on? You know, maybe once we get here, we just go this way, and then we have the drop down after the boss, so that you're back in like the semi-starting area and you can continue to forge your way. So it like loops back around after that point, rather than coming all the way back down to the center after the gauntlet and then going left. I don't know. Because like one of the things that I noticed, this was a while back when I did actually playtest with my family, is that they didn't know which way to go to begin with. And that's because there's like a split at the very start. You can go either direction. But in this direction, you can't actually get over this gap. It's too much. But if we move this like up here and then have the boss room up there and then like connect that back in somehow. Or I mean, the boss can be in this room. It's capable of like doing that. So that can all happen here if we want it to. We can just put the boss up in this top left-hand corner. We've got space for it. As far as like a canvas of this level is concerned. You know, could be okay. So we got the gauntlet. We get the dash. This is annoying. This is part of the level I never liked. So I'm gonna get rid of that. And then I guess I'm leaning towards like we just have like a gap you can't get over here, and that leads you to the first boss that drops you back down. Maybe we'll loop back, we'll drop back down, and then we'll come back to this junction here, and then you can drop down this, and we'll get rid of the gap up here, because like it would be really unfun if you decided to take the plunge down this drop, come back to the start, and then realize you have to go all the way back around. That's not cool. NA Games, hey, how's it going? So, time to get 2. I would like to have like a more cinematic acquisition of the dash at some point. But for now, I guess it's just a circle that you pick up that tells you exactly what it is. That's okay, it's early days. Where is this? Obstacles, encounters. I guess you can dash state. Yep, that's it. Put that there. Game objects? Where does it live? That doesn't matter. Navigation needs to be rebaked. Okay. Alright, and I said that I was going to fill this in. Maybe we can make it destructible. And then yeah, we'll have this accessible via this somewhere over around here. I guess we could, you know what, we could link this up. And then that can be our link up if you want to go back. Maybe we could put an elevator here that you unlock once you walk across here. So we have it start at the top and then go down rather than the other way around. You know what I haven't done? I've made elevators, but I haven't made them so that you can call them. So you kind of have to be, like, if it's not where you are, there's no way to get to it. You know? Like, there's one in the second room. And if you're just, if you, like, triggered this and then ran off, like there's no way for you to correct for that. So that's probably something we need to fix as well at some point. Okay, so if we're saying, okay, you get dash here, you run across, here is where you're going to have like the gap that you need to clear to like get to the door or get to the next area. So generally how I've been doing this, at least in this, at this stage, is you essentially have like a loop back. So you can jump up to this platform here, and then it leads to a jump which you wouldn't be able to make, which is like 6, like this. And we should probably lower it a little bit. What do we do down here? It's exactly the same. 2, 4, 6, 7. So 7. 2, 4. So, okay, I matched it. And that way you can basically try to make this jump. I still think it's a little bit too tall. But if we make it too short, you'll be able to ledge grab it. Hang on a second. This one here is what? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I had to switch to Twitch. Your YouTube chat message box is bugged. I set it. It's set to live. It's set to top chat. Although life is going nice. I wonder, YouTube? Yeah, YouTube pisses me off sometimes, eh? It probably makes more sense to have the boss be in a room rather than just be in the world. Did I play some more blueprints? No, I did not. Sorry. I was thinking about that this morning though. Maybe it's because I knew that you were going to be here. But yeah, I was like, I should play some more of that. So if we could fill this in, and I kind of like left that. So then you can basically have like a boss room that is in this space, but you get transported to it, and there's 2 doors. There's one on either side, and one leads to this, so we'll touch that up at a second, and it loops back around, and the other one leads to this side as well. So you have to jump up to get to it. Exact same thing as down here, it's just like it's more contained. So you finish the encounter and then you go up here. Play it off stream? I could. I'm not playing anything at the moment. I just, what did I play? Sea of Stars? It was about a month. It took me about a month. It was a long game. I didn't get true ending either. That's too much work. I had to look it up and I was like, nah, I'm not doing that. So, I don't know if this is doable. Guess we have to test it. Wanting to buy a dev tool that transports me to any save station. Security checkpoint? Means I have dash, which means I can get there faster. Ouch. Go. Oh, lost my head. They're not raccoons in outer space, trust me. I believe you. There's no way for me to check, so how would I know? Oh, god damn it. Okay. Control F1, cheat. If all else fails, just cheat. I'm gonna have to go the long way around. Super annoying. Yeah, I need to, like, as this project sort of grows in scope, I'm definitely going to need to add a dev tool that allows me to transport myself around the map. What I'm thinking is I'm going to make a tool that lets me choose any save point to go to. And I'm actually going to be able to expand that, eventually expose it to the player so that they can transport themselves around. Just add no clip. Yeah, that's a good option too. Probably do both. Okay. Gotta fight the monsters. That's okay, I know what I'm doing. Okay, we're done. I should probably go back and save. Okay, so I don't like this. Anytime that I see like a corridor like this and I can't see either end, it gets, and maybe this is just because there's no art at the moment, but it does make me feel as if I'm not moving, which I don't like. But yeah, we'll have to add some variety there. Let's test this jump out. Yeah, see, that sucks. I hate that. I'll make the roof taller. I don't think you can even make that with the dash. No. Yeah, because you can't get enough height. I have to add like a layer or two to the height of the level. Okay. Entrance, 0.1. Probably this one is fine. This is the one we were playing before, so that's why it's okay. Okay, got this. And now you can make it no problems. Can't make it with a regular jump. Level design. It's that easy. Good lord. So that's that. Now, yeah, we put a door, we lead it to, we change the location here, and then, because I think a door is going to be better than having just the room be here. I could be wrong. We could put a room here. How big is the boss? It's the same as this, so it's like, it's big enough, right? It's probably as big as I ever want to make a level. I don't really want, I feel like we're at the limits of what's like sensible. Where's the and I guess it is good in a way, like it funnels you in, like you have to go into this this space afterwards. You've gone through all of this. An encounter straight into a boss, I don't know about that. Yeah, I mean, maybe it's bad design, but I'm just trying to get it so that it like at least is a complete. Your cam is looking better. Did we get a new one? We did. I'm still dialing in the settings, but it is like a fancy camera with autofocus and stuff. If I can get it to work, look at that. Look at the blur. And then it comes back. And it costs way too much money. But we have it now and we can make like fun videos. The big part of the problem with using the GoPro was that it was convenient being there. Like I don't really like leaving this up in its setup and it's kind of inconvenient, but in that regard, for like a stream, I have to like put it together. Thank you, super crisp. I'm not sure about 24 FPS. That's what it's set to at the moment. See, like I'm a little bit blurry. because I'm used to seeing the 60, but apparently that's what people use, so I'm sticking to that. But yeah, it's way better for like making actual YouTube videos, because it's not like the GoPro was really difficult because I needed so much light. It was actually insane. So yeah, hopefully it will lead to me more willing to like actually make content. 24 with motion blur is good, yeah. I've heard, I think I'm just used to seeing the screen be like 60 FPS all the time. I would like to change the lens, but it's one of those things where it's like, oh, mirrorless camera. Guess what? The camera is just half the cost. The actual lens is like insanely expensive. It's like, oh, you want the YouTubing lens. It's called a Sigma 16mm. It's $700. But hey, we made it, so we can just like have this for the rest of my YouTube career. However long that is. But you only have to buy it once, in theory. But yeah, the colors and stuff I'm still working on. I've got a lot applied to this. That's what it normally looks like. I reckon probably not where it was, because it was very yellow, but like somewhere around there. Makes more sense. Spiced up the quality, I think yeah. Yeah, if you look at what like more professional setups look like, and like I make money from the course and I need to spend it, otherwise I have to pay tax, so got to invest in myself, you know. So we want the security drone. Now this is an entire room, but like we could just have the boss. We can grab the boss encounter pretty easily. What happens if we just put this in? Just buy computers and set them to mine? And yeah, I'll just send you them. I don't even think that would count as a deductible. You have to link it to the income you produce in Australia. It's very complicated. They call it the Nexus. No, to mine Bitcoin, yes. I use a HVX202 for pro film effects. It was 10K, pure digital workflow. That sounds really expensive. Can I look it up? I've never heard of it. If I've never heard of it, then it means that it's probably like crazy. Dude. Lamac? Panasonic? What the hell? That is one fat camera. It looks like the kind of thing you'd see at the football or at the news crew would have. I don't think I could fit that in this room. Like, how would I mount that to my desk? I guess the purpose is for more complicated stuff. It's a little beast. Has rated P2 cards. I don't know what that means. I'm a total noob when it comes to cameras. I just I like Googled like best YouTube camera. And it was like, oh, you get the Sony or you can get the Canon. And the Canon was on special, so I got the Canon. So what do we call it? What the boss is called something else. Security drone boss encounter? Oh, this is just like a flat. No. I use it for special effects capture. Film sucks to get plates. Digital capture all the way through. Makes green chroma keying a joy. Oh, okay. Oh, did you see the Corridor Digital thing about they've got like an AI that does like the chroma key now. It looks sick. Yeah, Corridor key looks cool. Although they were going to release the model and I was like, because right now it's like all open source. And I mean, it is AI, but at least like it's been ethically sourced. So like, I don't necessarily have a problem with it, but like, yeah, they were going to release that, and I thought, that is going to lead to people not using ethically sourced material for the training data. But hey, what can you do? It's probably way easier if I just like put this inside the... I was battle tested Keylight expert. If the datasets are sourced, it would kill the primate and Keylight hold. Yeah. It's funny, like I know nothing about this world, but I do have green screens and I don't use them because it's a pain in the ass to get them to key out properly. Like it does not work the way that it's not easy, you know what I mean? And so I don't ever use them. Like I actually don't know how people do it. I guess like I use KDE Live for my editor. Maybe it just sucks, I don't know. But it's like, I can't stand it. Oh, what did I do? What the frick? What the hell, man? What? Okay, I don't know how to fix it. I don't know how to fix it. Why did it do that? I think I made it full screen. There we go. Whoa, I got big for a second. Pretty sure training data is procedurally generated. Yeah, they call him. Dude, what the hell is that? I'm still not quite right in my shape because I just like... I can't undo that. There we go. Now it's going to be proportioned. Holy. I got big for a second. The return of the wide shaft. Yeah. That was really wide. Okay. Let's focus in. Pretty sure the training data is procedurally generated? Yes. Keying is a black art. I agree. Yeah, that was crazy. Okay, so I'm too dumb. I don't remember how this was put together. In the boss encounter, we got big drone as the boss encounter. Well, I'm trying to remember how I do my boss encounters. Boss encounter's blank. There's no enemy here. So then you need to pull in the boss itself. And I'm guessing this just gets set. Yes, it does. Okay, that makes sense. And it is an encounter, the same as the other ones, like the gauntlets, but it takes an ID. So this essentially, like this encounter would be both. You have to set the boss here. I want to look at Big Tusk. Craze Tusk. How does that one work? It's been a couple of months, so he is still a child of this. He doesn't die. Well, he does die. His body stays around. He doesn't get deleted. Probably need to work on that, but either way, you know what? It's way easier if there's just a room that gets transported to this actual security drone room. Like, let's not complicate it too much because we're just trying to get like an actual loop going for this whole thing. That makes a bit more sense. And then that way we can just call it a day, essentially. We don't have to like get too complicated there. So we'll just change that room a little bit. Like proportionally it won't make sense, but like who cares, you know? I mean, I should care because my map needs to proportionally make sense. Forgetting that. Speaking of my map, we need to redraw this. Oh yeah, that's funny. I'm gonna leave that out. Twitch advertisements? Ugh. It's annoying, isn't it? Really easy for... the thing is, you have to be careful because the way the map, like exploration works, like you really shouldn't U-block Origin Light, yeah. Get the U-block. It's not like I'm gonna lose money. It's like literally, what is it? I saw it this morning. It's like, oh, my revenue was 16 cents. Like, who gives? Just block them. Okay, that is better. Navigation. And then I use Firefox too. Actually, you know what? I've got like all of them. But yeah. So we can still have that blanked out. And then you will be within this square, so you'll fill that in. Pi-hole with Firebug stops every device at the router level. Dude. Is that like a standalone router or something? Yeah, so we end up with only one space in here, we need 3. So realistically, if we wanted to do this properly, 1, 2, 3, like we have this be over here. Like that's how this needs to work actually. As we learned from the last time, we actually need to like respect the layout of the level. Otherwise, nothing makes sense anymore. Put this square in. It's a DNS router proxy? Nice. So you have to respect that, otherwise you end up with issues. With the minimap drawing tool. Jeff, my Metroidvania is coming along. Nice. Nice, nice, nice. Are we racing? Are you gonna beat me? I suppose it's not really like that, is it? Who gets to market first? I spent 3 hours trying to build a state machine. Ooh, yeah, those are important. I have spent a lot of my early days like learning state machines. Okay, so you enter, you exit, you've got 3 dots, three cubes here, so you can come in here, and then you've got another 3 cubes. You come in security drone. Honestly, security drone is probably going to need to get fatter because like we need a 4th, we need an exit room. You can't just come in and out of the same room. Although we could probably make it like we could compress this down, right? Finite state machines with match, chef's kiss. I prefer to have them separate. It workish. The problem is me, let's be real. I can't like correctly separate the code if it all exists within one script. I need to purposefully separate it. Match on an enum. Yeah, we're gonna need to make it 4 boys. The other day, a guy said, state machines are absurd. And I was like, what? That is actually a really funny statement. It's like, okay, buddy. Like, okay, buddy. Is there like a subreddit, okay, buddy Godot? Is that a thing? I might be like misremembering. I used to match an enum, and that's why I spent 3 hours writing the entire movement script. Oh, did you change to what do they call it? I just call it a node-based finite state machine. You must have broken out of your state machine. This end does not need to be that big. honestly. Okay, so you have 4 there, so my bad. We have to account for that. Although, to be honest, it's probably not a big deal. But I keep saying it's not a big deal, and then I keep remembering how much of a deal it was. Like, no, actually, that was a major issue yesterday. Or actually, Friday. Saturday, was it? It was Saturday. I forget what day it is. Enter and exit and then call them in the setter enum variables. I suppose, yeah, like I guess it's one of those things. I'm not very good. I know what works and I'll stick to that. Problem. I guess it's kind of within that. Not really. I have a load of individual states which all inherit from a class state machine state. Yeah. I like to do individual node scripts for each specific state, same. That's my preferred way of doing it. I haven't done like I do like enum-ish, right? For one of the bosses has like an enum for the behavior, I think. Does this use a match or no? Go to next action? I guess not. Change. I guess it uses an array to decide what to do next. Yeah, no, it's not like that at all, actually. Never mind. Okay, so security drone. Door there, boss here. It goes smack bang into facility 1. Right here, where there's this big black square. 4 spaces, so it can fit there. These doors don't line up, but it's fine, I guess. For now. Navigation, bake it. Okay. Okay, so we need to add doors. Game objects, doors. Need 1,000,000 doors. So do we just go from fresh or do copy? Do I use Q for boss actions? It is kind of like I'm still developing my techniques. A lot of the bosses, like security drone, just literally runs on a loop. It does 3 things in a row and it just does them like one after another. And then the tusk, the walrus is one that I've tried to be more complicated about. Ignore the hitboxes, but with the AI, it basically it uses an array, a state stack. It's a dictionary, I guess. Wait, do we have a moves executed? We keep the moves that we've done in an array. Yeah, I think it is in a stack, and basically whatever is in the highest, it's a value, right? And so like you're adding to the value depending on what the player is doing or the position or whatever in relation to the actual enemy, and then the enemy, whatever's on top, it'll execute that action. If you're not bothered with using a plugin, there's some behavior stuff to use. I am bothered by using plugins. I try not to use them. I've got one for the dialogue and that's it. Because it's always more work than it's worth, I feel like. If I want to understand this stuff anyway, so like I'm gonna put more work into it at some point, but I wanted to round out the rest. Okay, we need to do doors. I need to close some rooms. There's too many. You can stay minimap. Let's get rid of this pink. Okay, so if we put a door here, we just call it security door, security boss door. 1. And the next scene is going to be this one here. So that's that. Copy UID. So we've got a fair few doors in this level already. So we've got index 1, 3, 2, 0. So this is index 5. And the next index is 0. Door direction is left. Right? And we'll make this editable so that we can change the collision shape. This is 0, 0. So the thing that I'm realizing with the doors is that I do want them, for them to like operate correctly, I need to probably codify this and put it into a script of some kind. They need to be 10 pixels off the floor. So I don't necessarily like having, would items that spawn in the boss room stay there if you go in and out? No. There's nothing like that in this game yet. There's no like object permanence. The boss will, if you defeat the boss, he's not going to come back. But like, yeah. Why can't I change this? I wanted to make it skinny. That's not necessarily that difficult to do. Pretty sure it's easy to, yeah, have a scene manager that only one instance of each scene and then teleport the player around. Wait, what? Pretty sure it's doesn't have a, pretty sure it's easy to have a scene manager and that only has one instance of each scene and then teleport the player around. Wait, what? Would items that, I don't understand the connection between the two statements. I'm like have all scenes spread out. Is this in relation to like items that spawn and stay spawned? Or is it something else? Add each enemy to a global list, and then if the enemy is in the list, delete upon level. So you have a main scene that has a level charge. Okay, so I actually kind of know what you're getting at. I do actually do this. You know why? Because the enemies only come back, like the basic enemies only come back when you save the game. So the game actually knows what enemies are dead and which ones are alive. But it doesn't know their position. So if you left the room and then came back, their positions would be reset. It only knows if they've been defeated or not. I'm not particularly concerned. But yeah, it's literally just a dictionary. So like, where's the game state? Loading multiple scenes or scene stacking. Oh, yeah. I mean, I can do that. I'm meaning to, because I think it'll help with the speed of the loads, like loading between scenes. Not that it's super slow now, but the main scene, this bigger one, does take a little bit longer to load in. And so I think it would be better if it is kept in memory when I leave it versus when I, versus like actually just removing it altogether. Because right now I delete it, but what I'm thinking to do later on is actually The same way that in the minimap, we look at all the doors. So you look at all the doors in the game. I see what you're saying. All the doors in the level. Technically, they say, is the object serialized? Fancy word to say, save to disk. So basically, it's one big scene. Ah. Yeah, so what I'm going to do later on, not right now, is when you enter a room, we're going to look at all the doors and then load those in the background on a separate thread. And when you go to the teleporter, it'll just like unload one and load the other one up, but not actually like delete it from memory. And then basically repeat. So you only ever keep like a couple of connected rooms. Like you basically only need to have the rooms that are connected loaded in, because you don't need to have like a room that's in another room's room. You know what I mean? It's like if it's 2 rooms away, then there's no chance that you ever need it that quickly. But yeah, that is down the line. Where the hell am I? Have a dictionary with all the instantiated scenes? Yes. So you can keep track of what rooms you're in. It's not that hard. The hard part is really just loading and saving. Because I need to put that on a separate thread, and right now it's on the main thread. So wait, this is the minimap. Where's the game state? I've got a lot of dictionaries. Do I not? Dictionary. Encounter list, discovery list, enemy list, map position explored. I gotta get back to game deving. Been too long. No, you can't quit. So yeah, it would literally just be like rooms. And then you just get a list of rooms and you load them in. Game Dog time. How are you? It's my first time watching you. Also, what's a Metroidvania? Just wondering. It's a combination of the 2 words Metroid and Castlevania. And those are 2 very famous games that sort of like popularized this 2D open world kind of exploration. Threads get complicated. I just use save one persistent music data reading and saving it if I have to. Yeah. I think people recommend that you do like the loading of scenes on a separate thread. I don't know. I'm going to look into it. Doesn't mean I'm going to do it. I've got like, I'll like do a commit and then try it out and then see if it works or not. Yeah, Metroidvania is essentially just like a 2D exploration game. If you've played Hollow Knight, that's like obviously the most popular one, most popular modern one. I'm a big fan of Symphony of the Night. I really like the Game Boy Castlevania games. They're really great.
Good night.
Good night, Fresh. Sleep well. I've been trying to get into 2D games recently. I'm a 3D gamer, but I've also been trying to learn Godot. Nice, dude. Yeah, it's definitely a field, like, I really enjoy playing them.
Auf Wiedersehen.
Auf Wiedersehen. How'd I do? I'm not German. Neither am I. That seems taller than I would think. 10 pixels. Anyway. Okay, so I got this. Next index is 0. That's correct. And then on the other side, oh my god, it's quite far. Let's just duplicate this, because why not? Dude, that room is bigger than I realize. Chuck that there. Is it that this is like... No, this is 20, so like realistically, if that's touching the floor, then you're all good to go. Who knows? I get stuck on Hollow Knight 2D wise. I beat a bit of Stardew and Terraria. I love Little Nightmares, but I don't think that counts. 3D from a 2D angle. I guess it depends. It's kind of interesting you say that because, like, from my perspective, it's like, oh, well, I mean, I played a lot of 2D games as a kid, but because that's all there was. You know what I'm saying? It was like, yeah, you got a Game Boy, you're playing 2D. Even some games on the PlayStation and stuff like that. Because I'm old. But yeah, I think it's like, you can still experience a lot in the medium. It needs to be 2. How tall does the player really need? Is it always 2? I made it that. Is 16? 16 is too small for the player, right? Like, the player is 20 pixels tall. I don't think I can go inside that room. He doesn't fit. He doesn't fit. I thought so. I was like, that seems too small. I bet play accidentally said beat. Also, this looks like really daunting. To make or to play? Yeah, it's 2. Okay, so this one is index 6, and the next index is going to be 1. And then we just need to go to the security drone and add a door here as well. We can just duplicate this. And then grab that. To make? Yeah, I mean, it's hard, dude. It's one of those things that, yeah, you do need to, like... I don't know how to put it. Like, this is my first time trying to make such a big game. I normally just make, like, little 2D, you know, like you do your Game Jam games. And it's, yeah, it's a lot more than I would expect. But, and it's taking a lot longer too. Like, it's been 6 months almost. Oh wait, so Worms is a masterpiece? You know what? I'm gonna say that I was not the biggest fan. Was that like meme with Peter where he's like, I didn't care for the Godfather, like Family Guy. I don't care for Worms. I thought it was okay. But then again, like, I didn't have a PC and I don't think the console versions really held up when it was. Like, what, when was that first released, by the way? 1995? Sorry, I'm looking on Wikipedia. Lemmings started the sandbox? I did love Lemmings, though. Yeah, see, is that, like, blasphemy to say that, like, I liked Lemmings, but I didn't like Worms? It released on Amiga, yeah. Dude. In 1995, was Amiga still around, I guess? I guess they eventually... I just remember having a DOS computer. Have I made 3D? Because 3D... well, I've made a lot of 3D demos. I've made a lot of 3D prototypes. Never went through with them. Because it's too hard. There's advantages. I think it's easy to get away with stock assets with 3D. Yeah, yeah, literally bone stock, bone circuit. You clocked it. It is, you can use stock art in 3D. No one cares. In 2D, people will notice and care. Mathematically, it's easier. This is the old background. Like, I don't think I can put... I'll just put the old door. Who cares? Okay, so where does this door go? They're both going to the wrong level. Copy UID. So this goes to... I was using Game Maker since Undertale and Deltarune was made in it, but Godot is scary. I mean, it can't be any worse than Game Maker, can it? And might become... is scary, might become my sleep paralysis demon, but... On the bright side, it seems cool. It's very capable. I thought they were like on the same level in terms of like capabilities, as far as like 2D is concerned. You know what I mean? I never considered Game Maker to be... I don't want to use the word bad. I don't think it's bad, right? I wouldn't even use that word to begin with, but like... It's like a capable 2D engine that you can use to make commercial games. Is the difference you just have to do a lot more yourself in Godot? I don't know. It's been a long time since I used Game Maker. I used Game Maker in like 2007. When it probably doesn't even resemble that now. Next index 5. Next index 6. Five. This one should be 5. This one should be 6. Okay, so you go through this room and then you fight the guy. Godot has had Bookshot and Brotato. I've never played Bookshot. Buckshot? Is that what you mean? Buckshot Roulette. I mean, there's a lot more games made with Godot, but yeah, that one's really famous. 10 out of 10 on Steam. Open and close. Yeah, exposure therapy. You gotta do some exposure therapy. That would work. See, this is a problem. I've moved the collision shape. And it needs to really stay at 0, 0 because the position of the the actual node itself is what actually controls where the player turns up. So you can't have that be like in the wall. That's like not acceptable. Same thing here. I'm assuming this one's okay though. Okay. So, that's a right-handed door. This is a left-handed door. Next index is 6. I think that's correct. Index is 1. It can't be 0. That's going to cause issues. Okay. So you walk in there, you fight the boss, you walk out there. And then this hallway needs to be fixed. Obviously it's super long and there's nothing in it. You wouldn't even know how close you are to finishing. But this is the path. Why is there 2 drop downs? I was going to put an elevator in. So I need to make an elevator object. I have an elevator object, but I need to make one that is more sensible. If that makes sense. Also, this looks weird. We can fix that. So, okay, well, let's just test out the room transitions and stuff. Make sure everything's working from that perspective. Check the minimap. And then... all that. Okay, we're able to come into this room. I guess we've beat this boss already, so there's not existing. And that is not where we're supposed to end up. Where the hell are we? That's an interesting one. Facility boss test room. Okay, so that link was incorrect. Copy UID. I guess I forgot to update those. We just ended up in space. Security checkpoint. I did save here. Okay, cool. Okay, yeah, this is not that you could recognize it since there's nothing here. And then we walk through here. And you come out at here, and then you've got this ultra long hallway which just feels like nothing. And is honestly pretty terrible. We'll fix that. And then you finally spit back out. Is the fox from your thumbnail from a different game? Yeah, it was one of the first games I made. I drew a fox for a puzzle game. It's called what is it called? Daphnia.itch.io. The Fox and Her Shadow. It was a submission to the GMT Game Jam 2021. That was the first game I made with it. It's kind of genderless, I guess. I don't freaking know. Either way, I had this idea to make a platforming game kind of like Celeste with this fox, and that was sort of like my first game idea. This is sort of what it was in the end. I didn't actually action that until maybe 6 months after I started making games more seriously. As I progressed out of that tutorial hell stage of game making. So there was, obviously a long lead up to actually being able to make games without having to sit there and watch a tutorial on how to make a character move for the 50th time. And that was one of the first ones that I made. I think I was sort of venturing into 3D at that point. I was more interested in learning how that works. But yeah, so that was sort of what I wanted to make. It was kind of it was really evident when I started putting things together that I wasn't really ready for that kind of thing. So I just never kept making it. It's super easy now though. This is basically the same thing, but with combat. It's not really that different when you think about it. Metroidvanias and platformers like that, very similar. The only difference is you have to fight a big security drone, which doesn't actually work at the moment. Okay, so I guess, yeah, the rooming works. Let's have a look at the minimap and how it draws itself out. Save scene, reload save scene, get maps. No, I'm too zoomed out. Yes, I guess we're gonna have 2 security drone rooms, or are we just having 1? Asking for a friend, will a boss seagull looking for a hot chip appear? Probably not. I don't know, we can do that. I've been thinking more about this game and how much I can actually do. And maybe I just focus on making bosses rather than actually making security drones in a weird location. It has 2 links, so that's probably causing issues. I think it would be more fortuitous, or it would be a better idea for me to focus on the combat. rather than the exploration side of things, because exploration requires like significantly more art. I was pondering this morning. I was like, if I just make bosses, and you can have a little bit of stuff on the way, you know, but I should just like try to make it really compact and have like more encounters and more satisfying enemy combat. And then why not? Why can't we have a bird that wants a hot chip? This is a place where they're doing testing on animals to create like the ultimate weapon, essentially. That's the entire premise. Okay, so security drone has double links. Let's go to the boss test room. And I guess if you stack this prototype with everything and pretend that it's the last level on hard, it's 1000% easy to work backwards and remove one thing at a time until you're back to a clean starting level. Yeah, that's a good point. Dude, what was I listening to where someone was like, I start on easy and work it up? Mutant Lab Rats? Hell yeah. Oh, I was listening to Thomas Brush, and he was saying that he's going to start on easy and work up from there, but I guess his game is narrative, so that probably makes more sense. This door, security. Do we just remove it? Or do we delete the link? We take it out of the group of crawl doors. That's what we do. That's how you disable it from getting picked up. We can't. I guess we just delete it. Thomas Brush is a show pony. I agree, but it's not like the worst content in the world. I've never played any of his games, and I don't care to. Dude, he's more legit than me. I've never released a commercial game. Have you played House, the trial and error horror game? No, I haven't. Talk over the guest and dribble about nothing. Yeah. I mean, to be fair though, like how many other people are doing like, I mean, maybe you know about them. I don't know about, like, is anyone else doing like a podcast style content with game devs? Because he's got like, the thing is, it's like he's got the social capital to pull like bigger names, you know? I don't know. Maybe there's better content out there. If you know people that are making like, what is it called? Yeah, podcast style content with creators like that, let me know, because I like listening to them. And I've got plenty of time when I'm at work to listen to stuff. Social clout doesn't convert that well. I guess what I mean is that he has the ability to actually get people on his show. Like in terms of like, you know, if I started reaching out to like these big creators and say, hey, do you want to do like an interview style show? It's like, I might get 100 views. You want to come on? Like no one's going to do that, but like he's got, you know, hundreds of thousands of subscribers. Delete the door, delete the door, delete the door. My brain. This is your brain on game dev. 85% of that game is hired hands. Yes. Isn't that like most games though? I suppose it's like if you're marketing it. Have I used Unreal? Yeah. A long time ago. Where's the minimap? Go facility 1. These doors are crawl doors, right? Yeah. Scene. Reload, save scene. Is that even in the right spot? I don't know. I think it needs to be pushed over, right? Okay, it actually exists here. Interesting. I wonder what causes that. Oh well. It overlaps. It's not that bad. But it shouldn't. Is it directional related? So this one is set to go left. It should go right. That's probably what it is, because I think it's using that. It's finding that door first. So that's the problem there. Oh, I double clicked that. I don't know. Yeah, I double clicked that. I was like, ooh, press that twice. Facility boss room 8. I just had, I had Justin Bieber follow one of my special effect test channels on video in 2012. It skewed my audience to 15-year-old girls and ruined all of that work. Should have leveraged it. Oh, it works. Yeah, okay, cool. So that was exactly the issue. I tried, yeah. You didn't, you had to like get the hair effect, right? And then, I guess, what is it, 2012? What else was like a big deal in 2012? I don't know, lean into meme culture a little bit? I don't know, what are the girls like in 2012? I couldn't figure it out then, can't figure it out now. Okay, so that is that full loop. Essentially, so you play from the start point here. Oh, let's look at the elevator. What's the time? It says 9:20 on my computer. Let's fix that. Driving me crazy. Set time. 7:20. Okay, easy. I was making a cartoon of him, but they only followed me to placate him. It's like the result of a tidal wave washing out. Interesting. Yeah, I suppose it's tough, like, understanding what the audience is really looking for. Especially when it's a viral moment. Like, can you replicate it? Why are you viral? Kind of thing. Oh, elevator. Okay, so let's look at that. Let's close this down. No conversions, just a mess. Yeah, it's tough sometimes. I was looking, you know what I struggle with a lot is like short form content. It's like, how do you get, like, I don't get any conversions off that. Like I can post a short form content, like a short form video on Instagram or TikTok and have it get like, you know, 3,000, 5,000 views, which I think means nothing. Like if that, I think like you just need to divide by 1,000, if that makes sense. Or for like short form content, because like there's no one follows. You know what I mean? So there needs to be a button somewhere at the top and bottom of these to let you call. Like, what was it? I had a video. It got like 80,000 views. on Instagram, and I think maybe like a couple of followers. Something like that. It was ridiculous. I was like, what the hell is this? How do I sort by views? See content, sort by views, and then go like all time? I don't know how to do it. Custom? Oh, but I'll have to do that all the way back to like 2024. This is a while back. I can't get it to show up. Anyway. So I guess we need buttons. Do we need to create something? On the wall. We need an object. I guess, yes. We do, we can create an object for this, right? It can just be like a sprite, 2D. Do we have anything available to us? Have it appear as like something on the wall? Problem is, I gotta remember that I am planning to have a 3D background. Either way. Get back. Open recent worksheet. Have it be like this kind of color. Yeah, I guess. Is it brown? What does it look like if it's a button on the wall? Maybe it's grey. This is not the right spot. Wait, how many pixels is this? 2? And just like a switch. I guess we could have it be like red if it's and then when you press it, it goes green. That works, right? It's like shit. It needs like a little bit of little bit. I don't know why I'm spending time on this. Like, I'm gonna change it. It's not gonna be the final product. Trying to convince myself to move on. And then copy, paste, and then make it green when it's being like called. You know what I mean? So it's like that. So that way you get like some kind of visual feedback that like it exists. And it's doing something. It's not centered. Why is it not centered? No. Why can't I just move it 1 pixel? That is 1 pixel? Right. Okay. Button. Highlight. Highlight. Do that. And then export as sprite sheet. There's an option for selected, right? Source. Sprite, visible layers, selected layers. There we go. Easy. Borders, trim. Yeah, I don't... Spacing? That's better. That'll work. Okay. Output. Choose file. Environmental placeholders? I guess that's fine. Do I have... I probably need... Button. World button. But don't confuse that with a UI button. Environmental placeholders, destructible objects. Environmental assets, 3D boss, dialogue, curious sprites. Do I have like interactable as a folder? I guess it's just in placeholder, right? Environmental placeholders. Whatever. Go with that. Offset. Animation. H frames. 2. Easy. Okay. Button sprite. This is like a button. Interactable button. We put a interactable in. So we actually have, I think, and if I can spell interactable, here we put a collision shape on it, and we make it rectangle. We probably make it taller so that you can just interact with it all the time. And there's a signal that we can emit, and basically when we interact with it, we can emit a signal, and then we can emit a signal from the signal. Makes sense. There's also like yeah, I guess that's fine. We can add a script to this, save this scene world, props, spikes, destructible, grid map, props, interactable button. Add the script. I'm getting to the point now where sometimes I'm worried that I'm creating something I've already made. Wait, what am I doing? Opening a script? Why can't I press open now? This is weird like that. Name? It's not built in. Create. And so basically Siri got activated by that. Don't know how. Get the signal with the interacted from this. On interacted. If you open your project in Linux, the system that has tree command, it will be presented with everything in a graph. TMNT N4W, hello, welcome to the chat. If I open the project in Linux and has the tree command, you'll be presented with everything in a graph. Interesting. Yeah, then I'd probably be able to tell if I've made something or not. I could search it. Searchables. How long has it been? 5 months? 6 months? We've got an update button, a resource button, profile button, interactable button, which is what we're making now. Oh, that's from the end. Just Convino raided with a group of 29. Hello, Just Convino, how are you? Go do the shout out. How's your game going? I got no prompt for that. It must be broken. I've spelled your name wrong. I really need to automate that. Just finished our character customizations. Nice, dude. Is this the 3D, if I'm remembering correctly, this is the 3D, like it's in space, right?
What are you waiting for?
That's an ad. What is this? Astro Yoinkers, yes, yes. All right, where is your about? I gotta get the link so I can post it in the YouTube chat. No, it's on Steam, right? Or is it not on Steam yet? Asteroid Yoinkers, wish list. Wish list it, YouTubers. What is going on here? Asteroid, yep, grab this. Is there a trailer or is it just pictures? It's multiplayer, right? I can't wait to play. What are we making? We're making a Metroidvania. Still no gameplay. That's okay. So, we've been making a Metroidvania, and it is going pretty well. I've been at it about 5 months, and we've sort of just been working up to the point where we're building in all the objects that sort of exist within a Metroidvania. So you've got like your mini-maps, you've got your like your power-ups and all that kind of stuff. And so that's what the pink is. That's why you can see pink there. That's the mini-map. Let's delete that. So basically right now we're at the stage where I'm trying to lay out the level and just get like a loop going so that people can play it and see what it's like to organize the game as a Metroidvania and say, go play. And does it feel like a Metroidvania? Does it feel good to play? Does it feel bad? How are the bosses? Neat. Very important to build all the systems before building the rest. Exactly. So like we're at that point now where it's like, okay, now we can start building. Occasionally I've come across things that I need. Like I want to have an elevator here. So essentially the loop is you're going to start in this bit here and you're going to go around. There's multiple rooms. So you're going to leave this. You can't come through here and you're going to go all the way through. And there's a boss here. And then we need to dress this part up because it's just an alleyway that's just really long, but we'll make that more interesting. And here we could just have a drop, but then you will never be able to go back. And so I'm like, okay, we need an elevator. Now I have an elevator, but I don't have a way to like call it. So if it's like never in the right spot, it's going to be an issue, which is something that I've noted. Let's play the game so you guys can see it. In the second room where the elevator exists, so we've got our guy. There's actually a background. I have it turned off. Let's see if we can get that turned on. It's not that pretty, but it's there. And obviously we've got all our enemies, which are just red squares and shapes. So essentially, the pathway will be like you might come all the way up here. I know all the obstacles, so I'm avoiding them perfectly, but there's you can't get through, right? So you have to come back down, go through this room here, fight through these bosses. That guy doesn't activate because he can't actually see you. I need to change that. And we're going to walk through. I don't know about this long hallway, but anyway. Here's the elevator in question, right? So like you can go up this elevator, it works fine. And you can go down, but if I just like jump, not that it's a problem from the top, it'll be a problem from the bottom. So if I activate this and then run off, now there's no way for me to get it back. You know what I mean? I have to leave the room. So we need to fix that so that you can press a button and have it come back. Like you would need to activate wall jump. If you had wall jump, this isn't an issue, right? Although I don't think it's a one-way platform. So if I change the abilities and give myself wall jump, looking pretty solid, thank you. Wall jump and wall slide. And that's it. So if I do that, I can get back up to the top now. If I can do it properly. Yeah, it's not a one-way platform, so this is even more of an issue. So yeah, we need to fix that with an interactable button, which is not super exciting thing to have to make, but it's what we're making. So yeah, that is where we're at. Okie dokie. So, this is the button. It's very basic right now. We'll worry about making it look pretty at some later point down the line. But yeah, so essentially, the little things add up to the exciting, exactly. Well, yeah, people would complain, and I don't want that. So, if I know about it, here's the way I try to think about it is the closer I get to like starting to push this out to people to like alpha test it, is like, I don't want them to come back to me and say like, oh, the elevator doesn't work. And my thought to be like, I know. You know what I mean? Like, I don't want that feedback. So if I know that there's a problem, I need to address it. Have a good dinner, Convino. Grab dinner. I was gonna say, like, I just had breakfast. Okay. So we got the interactable. It's going to send a signal to this. Streaming game dev is something I need to do more. The pressure of having to show the work definitely helps get the work done. How long have we been working on this game? This game is since November. So roughly 6 months-ish. Probably closer to 5.5. But yeah, it's coming along. I spent a lot of time on the character for some reason. Like the movement. Which is fine. I think that's important, but I could have like done less animation and just like got into making it. But sometimes you got to procrastinate a little bit, let the juices flow in. So we've got the fact that you interacted. Now, I guess this needs a state, because it's one thing to interact with it, but then you sort of need to know if it's active or inactive. Getting the character right is important. Yeah. Getting the character is, I guess, especially in a Metroidvania. Yeah, I think it is justifiable, but at the same time, it was like, damn, I really like spent a month on that. Maybe more. It's a long time. Technically, if I really wanted to like, you know, build up all of the work leading to this point where I'm capable of making a game like this, I've spent a lot more time perfecting character movement, because I used to just make platformers and they were all just character movement. And if I played the old ones, it's like, they ain't great. Button state, I guess. What do we call this? Is it an enum rather than a... It doesn't have a... I would say it better look like this. Way too much time on inventory. Inventory is one of those things that's like actually pretty hard though. Instead of a button, can you make an area that if the player is in it, it changes the elevator to the direction the player is? That way they jump off, it just goes back towards them. I suppose you could do that. I mean, that's perfectly fine. I think most... I'm trying to think, like, what do some other games do? Like, I know, say, like, Hollow Knight does, like, you have to hit the button. You actually have to hit it with your sword. I think that's actually pretty good, but since we shoot, I don't know if that really is going to feel as satisfying. Important to get the work done no matter what, exactly. Don't want to work on something else. Yeah, don't let the works, as long as you're doing something, I agree. Like, try to do something every day. Active, inactive. Call. Idle. So basically we can just say match button state here. And if it's in call, we need to have like a current state. I forget how to do enums all the time. Current button state. Here's a button state. And I guess it starts as button state.idle. And then yeah, match current button state. And then if it's button state dot, I guess I could have done this with a boolean. If it's just on and off. Whatever. Maybe I want to do more states for the button later on. Okay. And we also have a player when we interact. Do we need it? Probably not. Yeah, a slightly easier route of using GDScript. Yeah, for sure. Number one, I don't really know how to code outside of GDScript. I know a couple of different languages, but like I don't do this as a job. This is something I do for fun. So I don't code in my regular job. And I mean, occasionally I've had to use JavaScript. Occasionally. But yeah, not something I do outside of this. So it's really the one I know the best out of every language. Second would be probably Python. Button state all kite. So here's the thing, I'm starting to realize, if I do this as a separate object to the elevator, which I think I should it be, or isn't interactable enough? Am I over engineering this? Let me just like take a step back. So we've got the elevator, right? This already exists. We just need a button to press, and it needs to know the state of the elevator that it's in. So if we put an interactable here, we need two interactables, one for the start and end point, right? If you press a button, which interactable, all of this area 2D, that's all it does. It detects whether or not you're standing in it and you're pressing up at the same time. If I do that, can it just send a signal to the elevator? I personally detest aspects of GDScript, hence why I don't use it, but I like the existence of GDScript. It allows people that are new to coding easily to get into it, and it's fairly good built-in language. And it's perfectly functional for most games that are made in Godot. Yeah, I suppose if you, like, had opinions, it makes sense. I think, yeah, people like and dislike certain languages, right? That's fine. That's normal. Do I over-engineer it or not? Button is a separate object. It just needs to emit a signal. Use the tools you're comfortable with. I 100% agree. It emits a signal to the elevator, and then the elevator decides that it needs to go up or down depending on that. But how do we know? So we're going to need to... So I think this is definitely an over-engineer of this. Like now that I'm trying to reflect on what it really needs to do. It needs to emit a signal to say that it's been pressed, which is the interactable already. And then the elevator is the thing that really needs to decide what to do. The only other thing is like, I guess you want to turn it on and off. That's the thing with this actual as a button. Fair enough, the interactable object does just detect whether or not you're standing in it and pressing the button. But you don't want to be able to emit that signal a bunch of times, which is where we have this like, I'm having this like call state business, which maybe we don't need. And we basically want to get a callback from the elevator once it's finished moving to the position that it's meant to be in. So that would essentially be what it needs to do. So maybe this is okay. There would just be like a function here called like on elevator or action finished, action completed. or even like set button state as a function, and then it takes like a state. Button state, and then it returns void, and then it just sets the current button state equal to button state, right? And so when you call it, you set the button state to be button state dot call. No, round the wrong way. When it's idle, you set it to be call, and if it's in call, it's just passing. It's not doing anything here, right? So you can't unless it gets set back to idle, it can't be activated. And then here we emit a signal. Button pressed. Put this at the top. Signals go above enums, or do enums go above signals? I don't know. I always forget. And then we basically emit that signal. And then yeah, that's really it. And then the elevator decides what it does with that information. That way I can potentially use this for other things if I need to. But like for now, like give it a class. Interactable button. You would need to know that you're standing in it, but that's fine. I'll worry about that in a second. And then that's it. Yeah, set button state to idle. We also need to change, like, what we need to do is get this. Actually, let's just create an export for it. Probably under the enum. Sprite 2D is save that, assign it to this, and then set the button to be green. Which would be frame 1, right? Sprite dot frame equals 1. We'll just do that for now. That's kind of, it's a bit loose, but we'll do it. Okay. Did the camera go? The viewfinder turned off. Up above. But I think it's still okay. Wonder why I did that. This is my first time using it long term. So it died on the weekend. We got a new camera and it was using a battery. It ran out. And now I've got a battery, like permanent battery charger attached to it, and it should never run out, but the viewfinder did turn off. Maybe it overheated. I don't know. Should be right. Just destroy like an $800 camera. The first stream. Okay, so what are we doing? Okay, so now that we've got this, we can attach this to the elevator, and then we just need a way to like call back to actually set it to idle once it's finished doing what it's doing. So we can probably set it to, so we add these in, these objects in, interactable button. We need 2 of them. In theory, however, we can have as many as we want. So we can sort of control where these go and what they do. That's the other thing as well. We need to know, like, we do have a position. Oh, great. So we have a position, so we can use that to, like, to our advantage. So we create an export variable, or probably a top and a bottom. Assuming these go one way, in theory they could have multiple positions, right? Button. And we say this is the top one. And var bottom. Interactable button. Right? And then we just name these appropriately. Top, so I don't forget. What? So on interacted, this is one of those things where it's like, okay, so we are doing this all. This is one of those things that was scratch coded, you know, like it's not really been thought about. So everything is happening in the interactable signal. So we get this signal. Do we even use the player? We don't. It just comes with it. And we're setting it on its path with a tween. And we're setting the position as well. So we got the next position equals this. We need to put this in a function so that we can actually activate this via the buttons. Otherwise, it's not going to work. So this whole thing is really the function. Like that's the entire function there. Everything that is happening here is in relation to this because we're saying if the elevator is running, we don't do anything, right? We return out of this function, which is good because it means we're not really going to have to think too much about like these buttons and whether or not they activate. So should have probably reviewed this before I went ahead and made that happen, but that's okay. And then the next position is set by another enum, and then we just tween to the next position. Okay. How do I set those? How does this seems like magic to me. Elevator position is based on the path. Oh, yeah, okay, yeah, that's an interesting thing. So if you didn't know, I'm sure plenty of you do, but like on a path follow 2D, we have a variable called progress ratio, which is just either 0 or 1. And so with an enum, guess what the values are? 0 and then 1. And so we can just say position bottom, position top is next position, and then we're just going through the progress ratio. Dude, I'm a genius. That works without having to think about where to put the elevator. Okay, and then we hide prompt. Okay, so we need to turn this into a function. I guess we just call it run elevator. Dude. Okay, and then we just call that function run elevator. Easy. Number one, and so now we can get this signal, which is button pressed, and go to that. And then essentially what we are going to do is when we decide what position we're going to, we're going to set the button to be idle. Sorry, we're going to set it to be called. So it'll go green. Which by the way, set button state. Sprite frame 1 here. When it gets called, it gets sprite frame 0. I'm just trying to think. Button pressed emit, set button state. We actually do have to set button state to be idle. No, wait, what? We don't want to do anything here. If button state is call, it's basically inactive. We need to change the names of these. This is confusing. So one is when it is the active position of the elevator. The other is when it's not. Think about those names in the background while we just work out. When we emit this signal, which is button pressed, what do? We button pressed, do we just run elevator? It's just going to switch positions. We could have two separate signals. So we can literally just say run elevator. That will work. On top and on bottom. Or we could connect the signals in the ready function to like a single function that just calls run elevator. So we can change this to be on interactable button pressed, and then just go back to this and disconnect that signal, and then just go top button dot button pressed dot connect, and connect it to that callable there. That's not right. Is it? Bottom. So they'll both be connected to that signal. They're just going to run the elevator, which means they're going to switch positions. The elevator doesn't... Okay, so I've built in some protection here. The elevator won't run until it reaches the position that it's been sent to. So you can't really spam this like I was trying to count for in the other thing. But we do want it to go green. When it reaches this position, I think we should call back to the actual buttons. Probably we match basically the top and the bottom, and we say that basically wherever we're going, it wants to be green, so you can't press the button anymore, and wherever you're not going, it goes to red. Because right now I think they would be well, they don't ever get turned off, right? Once you press the button, it's kind of done. It doesn't get deactivated. So set button state to call. And if you set the button state to call, if the current button state is in call, it goes past. When do we set it to back to be idle, basically, is the question. When the elevator finishes, we can set them to be idle. Or we can go, if the next position is bottom, then the top one gets set to be idle. So we can say top button dot set button state interactable button dot button state dot idle, right? And then if the next position is top, then the bottom button gets set. Button to idle, so it can be called again. And then yeah, we just need to position them in theory. Okay, let's see this in action practically, just in case I'm forgetting something, which I almost always am. It's in the second level. Let's turn off the pink. So the top interactable. Oh, where did I go? Jesus. Let's grab that and put it at the top, as you might expect it to be. Let's just make it. And then the bottom one. How tall do we make it? Just in the center there? So, yeah, let's test the practicality of that. I don't think that there's no room close to that. I really need a quick move cheat in my dev tools. It's starting to become very necessary. We go through here. Nope, didn't time that right. So, this does nothing. So if I activate this and then run off. Does it do anything? How can I tell? It's not coming back down, I can tell you that much. Also, I'm realizing that the area effect needs to be like... Oh, you know what? Did I ever set up like the detection area interactable zone? Like, I don't think I probably did that correctly, right? I need to add a save station so I can test. I got some work to do when it comes to dev tools, eh? Interactable button. This does need to specify that it needs to interact with people. Well, the player. So if I go to collision, it's set to 1, which is not correct. It needs to be set to 2. Interactable button, interactable, yep, that makes sense. Okay. Visual indicator for seeing when you can actually interact with it would be good too. Add that to the list of to-dos. There it is. That guy always shows up right when you're planning to walk down, and I don't like it. I didn't jump off properly. Hey, look, it kind of went to the wrong spot. It did work though. Are they like wrong? They're like back to front. Wait. I can just call it? What the hell? I don't think I set their states to begin with. It does just go down when you click that one though. It's not 100% working the way I want it to. Because obviously it gets activated there. They basically always work. Even though they're in the green state. Hang on a second. I'm not ever setting that back. So if the button state is call, if you set the button state to set button state, match button state, set button state. Okay, so this, if the button state is, yeah, this is what I'm not doing properly. Set button state needs to be button state. No, I am setting it back to idle. I'm getting myself confused. We have to do another match. because that's just on the match here. So we just go match current button state. If the button state, yeah, here we go. This is what I really should do, is like move this and then go button state dot call. If the current state is call, then we need to go to idle, but like button state, current button state equals then, oh, okay, my brain is like, I need to go get coffee. Button state pressed emit, sprite frame equals 1. If it's idle, button state dot idle, then sprite frame equals 0. And this could just be an if statement, that's fine. I mean, this whole thing could just be like a boolean. It doesn't need to be a state machine. Not super happy with this, but it is what it is. We persevere. So if they all get set to idle, if button is depressed, take it out for dinner, then some cocktails. Give it some antidepressants. Got a save station here so I can just come back to this spot as we're playing through. Wanting to buy a dev tool to put me in any room in the game. Do I even have access to that information? I suppose within the minimap there is like all the doors. So that information does exist. I'm just trying to think in my head, like what's the easiest way? Like I could do a crawl. For save stations. I do want fast travel in this game eventually. I mean, assuming that's necessary. Ouch. Just out of save. The monster's gonna come back. So does it get set back to idle? When it gets activated, they get turned to idle. It's kind of back to front. That's what we don't want to happen, by the way. We're trying to prevent that, but I don't think I'm doing a very good job. I think I need to go get coffee and also go to work. Jeez. It is a public holiday, but my workplace is based in Victoria, which is not a public holiday. So I am going to work, even though no one else is. But I'll get another day off when everyone else has to go to work, so it's all even. So let's just have a quick think, see if we can solve this quickly. So we're setting the button state to idle for the one that we are not on, but when we press this button, we just run elevator. And that button is pretty much universally like, I don't know, interactable button. Like, the state is kind of like, it's a bit cooked. I think I should just change this to a true or false. It'd be easier for me to keep track of. When we press the button, if you're in idle, we set the button state to call. And then it goes to this. So in theory, you can't spam it, but it gets set back to idle. But the sprite frame. So I don't understand. The part that I'm having trouble with is how come I can press the button again. Like here, obviously this makes sense because it's idle. You can press it, it goes up, and then you can press it again and it'll come back down, right? May the 4th be with you. Yeah. This is the day of the worker having a rest. Exactly. And then when you want it to be in the position of the bottom, you don't want it to be active. Okay, something to work on. I'll probably do it off stream. I'll probably do it tonight. But other than that, thanks everyone for hanging out. I gotta go and do some finance stuff, which is super fun. Where are we sending you all next? Same category. Bimlock, Mercurial Forge, Hypnotic. Go over to Hypnotic because he streams ages. He's got a new VTuber. Have a good day, everybody.